I realized that I cut out food that I deemed unhealthy, not because I wanted better health, but because I was avoiding guilt. And it's cold out here. And I just came to this realization last night. Well, this week I told myself that I was going to eat plant based and clean for the entire week. So one, I already said I was gonna stop doing that, right? I was gonna stop creating these goals and then be upset when I don't reach them because it's not what I really wanted in the first place. But I did it because I'm still learning. I'm still going through this. And, it was only Tuesday night and I was like, damn, I really want Domino's. I don't know what it is about the Domino's bread bites, but the garlic bread bites and the cinnamon ones, but they got me on a chokehold right now. And I was really feeling like, man, like I would get them, but I don't want any judgment from Sequoia, my wife. And then, I reflected back to like A Course in Miracles and I was like, well, that's actually my projection. I'm not really afraid of her judgment. I am afraid of my own judgment. But I couldn't figure out, like, even though I understood this, why I was still doing it. And I don't know. I just like had enough. And I ended up going for a walk in the rain and it was like downpouring. I got dressed, put on all the waterproof, water resistant shit I had on, and I just went for a walk around the block. And at the beginning of the walk, I was crying and begging Holy Spirit to just take this feeling away. Like I can't stand it. And I, yeah, I was just begging. I was just sitting there boohooing, walking and asking for it to all go away. And then at some point after that, I started to repeat to myself, I am guiltless. I am innocent. I am whole. And I just kept repeating it and walking and repeating it and walking. And so the whole walk, it was probably about 15, 20 minutes of just me walking. And I just repeated that over and over again. And by the end of the walk, like my mind was free. I don't know how else to describe it. I was just like, oh my God, it's gone. Like the way I was feeling. And I was like, whoa, I am guiltless. I am innocent. I am whole. I feel really good now. I don't know what I was telling myself before because it was almost like, I don't know, like somebody just like throwing rocks at you and you're just like, and you don't know who it's coming from, what color the rock is, who's throwing it. And like, that's how my thoughts felt before I went for that walk. And then I came in because I was fucking drenched and I was like, I'm gonna take a hot shower. And then I thought to myself, like, let me go right. Cause I don't know what just happened, but how I was feeling was gone. And then I had the big realization that I didn't cut out foods because I wanted to have the best health. I cut them out because every time I ate them, learning everything that I did and how they affect the body, I felt guilty. I was cutting out guilt. I wasn't cutting out foods for my health. And that's why I still wanted them. And that's why the binge restrict cycle kept occurring because I never let go of the foods for the right reason. I never stopped wanting them. And that was just like a big fucking aha moment. And now it's just like, okay, I see where the projection was coming from. I didn't want to feel the guilt and the judgment. And it was becoming so much. And now I know why when I let everything in, I felt so bad. Because I was like, I'm not even eating that crazy. I'm not even eating that many foods. Yeah, I'm having some fun. My stomach hurts every now and then. But I was like, I don't know, this feels like more. And for the first week, I was staying guiltless. But then somewhere along the way, it creeped back in and I forgot. And then this also while writing, it led me to the realization that I was guarding my mind against the wrong thing. Like in A Course in Miracles, it says, be vigilant for the thoughts that you let enter your mind. And I was demonizing food. I was being vigilant for every time I thought about Dominoes or biscuits or whatever else that came across my mind. And I was shoving it out, putting it in the corner of my mind. But what I should have been vigilant for was the guilt. What I should have been vigilant for was the judgment, was the shame. I was vigilant, but I was looking at the wrong thing. So I was still letting the enemies behind the line, unbeknown to me. And all that just became so crystal clear last night. And now I feel like after these 4 weeks of playing around and just eating whatever I want, not restricting, falling into a binge cycle, coming out of the binge cycle, sitting somewhere in the middle, I'm like, oh, I can focus. Like now I feel like I can figure out how to get balance. Because before I was like, I don't even know what the fuck to do. I don't know anything. I don't know what's going on. I'm asking for help. I'm not getting it. Probably was asking for the wrong questions. But I'm like, I feel so much relief today. I feel lighter. And I swear to you that after I had this whole realization, I've been believing that my bloating is not due to what I'm eating, because I was bloated when I was eating fruits and vegetables only, and I've been bloated when I'm not. So I was like, what the fuck is this really from? And I thought maybe it might be the extreme back and forths, but I'm pretty consistent for a good period of time, even when I was doing restrict and binge cycles. Like they would only last for a couple of weeks of binge, and then the restrict would last for months. So I'm like months of consistency and still like bloating. And so I was like, it must be attached to my mind. There's something going on there. And last night when I let go of all that guilt, when I finally gave it over to the Holy Spirit and was like, you can have this. I know I created it. I don't want it anymore. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Take it. I started releasing so much gas. I started shitting so much. And now my stomach feels like it feels the most quiet and painless that it's felt in months. Man, this has been such a fucking journey. But I don't know if anybody else is doing this. But if you're cutting out foods, don't do it for guilt. You can't build a lifestyle on guilt. Lesson of the month. Much love and happy healing.